Ah, yes. Australia. The land down under with so much to do and see, and a place that has been on my bucket list for as long as I can remember. And a place that also happens to be a breezy 15 hours across the Pacific Ocean from California. You really think I was going to fly all the way there on the back of the plane? Hell no. Okay, actually, I promise I'm not that entitled. It's just, once you fly business class once, it's just really hard to go back. Wait. That actually sounds much worse. But, if I told you I only spent $100 on the ticket, I see your ears perking. Being savvy is not being entitled. I was able to score this ticket thanks to this puppy right here, the Alaska Airlines Visa Signature Card. At the time I applied for the card, the sign-up bonus was 50,000 miles, and by the time I spent enough money to get the bonus, I had just over 55,000 Alaska miles to utilize. But Jake, the title of the video says you flew Qantas business class, not Alaska Airlines. You're right, but Alaska Airlines and Qantas Airlines are both part of the One World Airline Alliance, which means I would be able to book a Qantas flight via the Alaska Airlines website with my Alaska Airlines miles. And would you look at that, partner airline award tickets from the US to the South Pacific, aka Australia, is only 55,000 miles in business class. Wow. What are the odds? That's actually so crazy. It's like the exact amount that I needed, I had in my account. It's almost like I planned it that way. Yeah, so I booked a flight from LAX to Sydney and only had to pay $40 in taxes and fees. Add that on top of the $75 annual fee it costs to have the card, basically what I paid to get the bonus, and I only spent $115 for a 15-hour business class ticket. But Jake, you live in Chicago, so you still had to get to LA, didn't you? Yes, okay. Full disclosure, I did have to buy a one-way ticket from Chicago to LA with cash. It was like $250. So if you want to be technical, I didn't spend just $100. I spent more, but nobody really cares about your technicalities, so just stop. Anyways, let's head on over to LAX, where we begin our journey with priority business class check-in and a little bit of lounge time before the flight. All business class tickets within the One World network come with pre-departure lounge access at any member airline lounge. Qantas actually doesn't operate their own lounge out of LAX, but within the international terminal, there is a One World branded lounge. And just a short walk away in Terminal 4, there is an American Airlines flagship lounge, which is the lounge I elected to go in because it just looked a little bit nicer from what I saw online. And I was not disappointed. This lounge was very lovely and spacious, and I am a sucker for massive floor-to-ceiling windows. The food options were plentiful, both warm and cold options, and of course, we weren't going to skip dessert. There was even a fully self-serve cocktail bar and wine bar. After indulging in all of the goods, I freshened up in one of the shower rooms and headed off to the gate. Qantas operates this route from LAX on their flagship A380, which as a certified av geek had me geeking because it was my first ever flight on an A380. There's actually only one A380 that flies in and out of Chicago. It's from British Airways, so there's just not many opportunities for me to fly on one of these puppies being based in Chicago. Anyways, after making my way through the priority boarding lane, it was finally time to head onto the plane. Business class takes up the front half of the upper deck, and yes, there is a full staircase on this airplane. I was in seat 13F, sitting next to my brother in 13E. At the time we booked the tickets, we actually both picked window seats, which I usually prefer for the extra privacy, but something got messed up at check-in, so they ended up putting us together, but in the middle. In all honesty though, the privacy wasn't terrible in the middle. On either side, you would really have to strain to see another person in the cabin besides the person you were sitting next to, so it wasn't all that bad. I mean, we could have been sitting downstairs in economy, so. The seat quality was spectacular and super comfortable with an abundance of legroom for my 6'1" frame. Storage area and power outlets were to my right, which is also where the tray table came out. To the left, there was a little cubby where I kept my shoes, as well as a retractable divider for some extra privacy if desired. The provided amenity kits came with all the basics, and all business class passengers were also given these awesome Qantas branded PJs. The IFE screen was high def and very responsive. Very responsive. There were a ton of movie and TV options, and one of my favorite features was this Harry Potter specific category with every movie in the series, plus all of the Fantastic Beasts movies. Once we took off and were in the air, dinner was served about 2 hours in. I was given a full menu with plenty of options, but ended up going with the chicken, which was delicious, and topped it off with this chocolate coffee mousse cake for dessert. After dinner, I polished off my glass of wine before heading to the bathroom to make a quick change into my designer PJs, brush my teeth, and make my way back to my seat. Well, actually now my bed. The seat was so comfortable, I honestly slept like a rock. I easily got a solid 6 hours of sleep before waking up just as we were flying past Fiji. I lounged around for a bit while waiting for the rest of the cabin to wake up, and breakfast was served with about 2 hours to go. I elected to go with this egg and halloumi sandwich, which was so good. And before I knew it, it was time to get ready for landing in Sydney. That flight did not feel like 15 hours at all. I honestly could have spent several more hours in that seat. This is now the 4th long-haul business class product I've tried after Turkish, United, and Swiss. And I would say as far as physical hard product goes, Qantas for sure takes the cake. I still really wish I could have tried that window seat to experience what that extra privacy was like, but I'm not going to complain. Well, I guess I am complaining about it, but I'm not going to complain about it. But if they do try to put me in the middle next time, I will respectfully decline. All in all, this was a perfect way to hop the Pacific, and would definitely recommend trying to score one of these seats with your points and miles if you are planning a trip down there anytime soon. Not only can you book it with Alaska Airlines like I did, but you can also book through Qantas directly or through any One World member airline frequent flyer programs such as American, Japan Airlines, Cathay Pacific, most of which are direct transfer partners of American Express, Citi, Chase, and or Capital One if you have a stash of any of those transferable points currencies. Anyways, that'll do it for the inaugural Jake Jones flight review. Hope you all enjoyed, and we will catch you in the next one.